Before we get this underway, I want to send some love to Dolany TV, the Oilers YouTuber that I would usually go to for Edmonton Oilers stuff because he was diehard, blue and orange, going out there making videos all about different Oilers stuff, the lines, the prospects, the games, and all that. And when it comes to needing a scoop about the Oilers, I would always go over to Dolany. So the fact that he quit YouTube a few months ago really does suck, but hey, the justifications he went out there and provided definitely are understandable. So buddy, you got my heart for sure. And if there are any other Oilers fans who are out there watching this video, I'm pretty sure you have their hearts as well. Regardless, though, let's talk about the Oilers, because there's a guy on the Edmonton Oilers prospect development system that I've been so intrigued by the past, 3 years. It's not even funny anymore. This is a guy who made himself known as one of the best prospects in the NHL at the 2018 Ivan Hlinka tournament, where he was a very good offensive producer for the blue line on Team Sweden. But everywhere else he has played, he has not had the same level of success as he did back then. Part of it was due to overall play. Other parts of it were due to injuries, and that's kind of why we're also making this video here. Let's talk about Philip Broberg, an Edmonton Oilers prospect drafted at the 2019 NHL Entry Draft 8th overall. He was one of the top defensemen taken on the board, a third actually behind Moritz Seider and Bowen Byram, and he was seen by many as a guy who, at his best, was an offensive puck-facilitating, moving defenseman with some really blistering fast wheels and an offensive package that just made him so unstoppable. At his best, Philip Broberg could be the guy to take the puck behind his own net, start skating a little bit, kind of go back and forth, and then just blitz right through the offensive zone. Boom, it's in the back of the net. Kind of sounds like somebody else in the Oilers system. Can't really put my name on it right now. But Broberg was seen as the defensive version of that, just being able to put up points, relying on his speed, relying on his overall movement to act as a positive catalyst out there on the ice. We noted that Ivan Hlinka tournament where he was so good, he had himself 4 points in 5 games played. 3 of those were indeed goals. Broberg has never really been in the position where he has produced at a similar rate of success, aside from the international tournaments. At the U18s in 2019, hey, 6 points, 7 games played, that's good. At the World Juniors last year in 2020, 1 goal, 7 games, okay, that's not the best. In the World Juniors this previous season, though, 4 games played, 3 assists. All 3 of those assists came in 1 game, and he was battling injuries, which was very unfortunate to see. And the fact that they still played him, even though he had a torn leg muscle and a separated shoulder, yeah, sucks, right? The development curve for this guy has been so weird because some of the reasons why he wasn't even really producing all too much beforehand, if you take a look at the 2019-20 season, for example, his first full year in the SHL, 8 points, 45 games played, a lot of people would be quick to point out, okay, that's fresh out of the 2019 draft. Look who else was drafted in 2019, Victor Soderstrom. He went out here as a half a point a game defenseman. Philip Broberg's got 8 and 45. What happened? Why was Broberg taken so high compared to Soderstrom? And a lot of Broberg's overall problems in the game, I would say. Completely disregarding the injuries, but just the overall things that brought him down as a prospect. A lot of that, as I said in a few videos we made previously, and you can check this out on the channel, all the videos are still up there, it's a lot of what goes on in between his ears and behind his eyes. Broberg is a guy whose offensive skill was definitely there when he picked the puck up and he just got going in a straight line. But everything else kind of needed that awareness to be tuned up a little bit. He wasn't really the best in his own zone when he didn't have the puck on his stick. He wasn't really the best in his own zone at breaking up plays, which is what a defenseman should kind of be able to do. And as a result, the translatable factors that made him so dominant in junior, where he could just pick the puck up and start skating, it's a lot more harder to do that when you're playing against men in the pro Swedish league. So Broberg got neutralized for all intents and purposes going into the next few seasons after his draft year. This season, though, 13 points in 44 games played, 12 played in the playoffs, and 0 points as well. Not the best. Not the best for sure. Especially with the fact that in the playoffs, he was getting, get this, 8, 7, 10 minutes a night. Sometimes he had 4, 5 minutes. Yeah, they didn't play him. They didn't put him in a position to succeed, and we saw a little bit more of that Vasily Podkolzin, Rodion Amirov, KHL kind of tough love that they were giving out there to Philip Broberg specifically, and it's gotten a lot of Oilers fans up in arms talking about, wow, our guy's really not developing here in the SHL. What even is the point? He was played 15, 16, 17 minutes a night in the regular season, and he was kind of producing in the regular season. What happened in the playoffs to push him all the way back down? And honestly, I don't really have an answer for that. If anybody does, please let me know in the comments why that was done. But the big news about Philip Broberg and what exactly has gone down with him lately is that he is now going to be flying to Edmonton from Sweden He'll quarantine for a week, and he'll stay with the Oilers. No AHL time here for Broberg as he suits up, probably in practice, get some licks in there after serving the quarantine, just being around guys at the NHL level. We've had this before. Philip Broberg has indeed spent some time as the Black Ace, I believe, in the 2020 bubble, but it looks like that might be the case again. If you're wondering why exactly are they doing this instead of sending him to the AHL, here's what Daniel Nugent-Bowman said from The Athletic. Why not send him to the AHL's Bakersfield Condors to get the 2019 first-round pick playing at a normal, more appropriate level? The answer is quarantines and documents. Ken Holland said that trying to get him a game in the AHL would require a 14-day quarantine in Canada, waiting to get an appointment to get him a U.S. work visa, and then a 72-hour quarantine in Bakersfield. That's simply not feasible before the AHL season concludes. The Oilers also concluded that this process wasn't worth it for Philip Broberg either once his SHL season ended earlier this month. Broberg likely only requires a 7-day quarantine to come to Edmonton so he can skate with the Oilers. He should be a Black Ace come playoff time. And so now, whatever you're talking about with your concerns with Broberg and how he was treated as a member of Sweden's national team, getting played even though he was really severely injured, how he was being deployed in the SHL playoffs, the ups and downs with the ice time and all that goes out the window now because Broberg is going to be suiting up with the Oilers in practice. Now, I doubt he gets a game or two. He might get one game. I don't know. The Oilers, do they have enough to lose to actually go out there and give Broberg a game before the season ends up? I don't know. But at the end of the day, he's going to be out here with NHL players, NHL trainers, NHL coaching staff, and an overall better working environment, I would say, when it comes to his overall development. Because, I don't know about you, I'd rather be going out there practicing with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl than getting played 5 minutes a night in important playoff games for a team that's going to go far into the playoffs. Now, Skellefteå is eliminated. We talked about that in a previous video, talking about how Moritz Seider and the regular BK eliminated Skellefteå AIK. But this is a lot better. I'd rather see him out there practicing than see him, just chilling out on the bench. So, talk to me in the comments what you think about Philip Broberg. This entire video topic we had, the weird, kind of convoluted path that he has had so far. Ups and downs. That's kind of been the definition of Broberg, because the ups, hey, they're pretty good. The Ivan Hlinka showed off his dominance as a puck-rushing offensive defenseman. That one World Juniors game he had where he had assists at even strength, the power play, and shorthanded. Awesome to see right there. He was the player of the game in that game for a reason. But everything else outside of that, he's not getting played, he's getting injured, he's getting played while being injured. This is a guy who, if he pans out, if everything works out the way that it could, we made this video before, but Victor Hedman said that he sees a lot of himself in Philip Broberg, and that's not really the comparison that I personally would have used, but hey, if Victor Hedman, the guy himself, is saying, yeah, I see this, he could be me, then I don't want to doubt Victor Hedman. The guy's a pretty smart guy. But again, as we mentioned in a few videos a few years ago, a lot needs to go right with Philip Broberg's mentality, the way he approaches the game, and the way he observes the game when he doesn't have the puck on his stick, in order for that to accomplish itself. So, next few seasons, next few years, next few months maybe, I'm looking forward to seeing the development curve of Philip Broberg shoot skywards, because he is now getting that NHL guidance that he probably could benefit from. If you agree, talk to me in the comments if you do. Also, just let me know your overall thoughts of this situation as well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.